Jai Shri Ram. Now I'm going to tell you a short story about what can happen when we expect people to behave badly, and when we have these negative ideas, views about people, uh, how people will end up responding. And when we have positive expectations, people actually live up to that expectation. So that's called Pygmalion effect also. Pygmalion, Pygmalion, Pygmalion effect. Pygmalion was the name of, uh, I think, a great Greek sculptor who once sculpted a beautiful statue and fell in love with that. And he was pining in love. He could not eat, sleep. That's what happens when you are too much in love. So he was almost on the verge of dying. So the gods took pity on him, and the gods infused life in that statue. He married that statue, and he lived happily ever after. So that's called the Pygmalion effect. And the implications are, if you are nice to people, if you expect people to be good, they will live up to it. So compliment people. You might be a little insincere, but it doesn't matter. When you say nice things to people, people will try to live up to that expectation. So that is how you can actually help people improve and become better human beings. Okay, so this is a story, very interesting story. Now there was a guy whose name was Biden, and not this guy. Biden was a farmer, and he needed to plow his field before the summer set in, but his own plow was broken. So he thought, okay, I'll ask my neighbor Murphy, hmm, uh, and I'll borrow his plow. He's a good man. I'm sure he will have finished his plowing by now, and he'll be glad to lend me his machine. So Biden began to walk the 3 or 4 fields to Murphy's farm. And after a field of walking, Biden said to himself, I hope that Murphy has finished all his plowing, or he will not be able to lend me his machine. Then, after a few more minutes of worrying and walking, Biden says to himself, and what if Murphy's plow is as old and on its last legs? He will never be wanting to lend it to me, will he? And after another field, Biden says, Murphy was never a very helpful fellow. I reckon maybe he won't be too keen to lend me his plow, even if it is in perfect working order. And he's finished all his plowing weeks ago. So, as Biden arrives at Murphy's farm, Biden is thinking that old Murphy can be a mean old rascal. I think even if he's got all his plowing done, eh, and his own machine is sitting there doing nothing, he will never lend his plow, his machine to me, because he would just want me to go to ruin, rack and ruin. He won't want to. He won't want me to prosper. So Biden walks up to Murphy's front path, knocks on the door, and Murphy answers. Well, good morning, Mr. Biden. What can I do for you? Says Murphy. And you know what Biden says? Biden says with his eyes bulging, you can take your bloody plow and stick it up your bloody ass. I don't know how to say anything more. I think you understood the story. This is what will happen when you have negative expectations. And Murphy must have been shocked out of his wits.